In my previous life, a city-educated youth in the village fell in love with me at first sight and pursued me for 3 years, but everyone brainwashed me, saying city folks were promiscuous. They claimed he would definitely dump me after returning to the city, that he was just toying with me. My parents married me off to a rough but wealthy farmer in the village, saying his honest nature meant he would surely treat me well. The educated youth soon married my sister. It turned out that the rugged man actually liked my sister, and I was locked at home as a tool for bearing children. Meanwhile, my sister went back to the city with the educated youth and became a city lady. When I had a difficult childbirth, my sister refused to take me to the hospital. Watch me die in bed and tell me the truth of that year. Father deceived the educated youth by saying he was marrying me to him, which led to their marriage. Sister, you made me live like a widow for so many years. You deserve to die. Her rugged husband held her in his arms with affection. I said I would never let you suffer the pain of childbirth. When I opened my eyes again, I had returned to the time before I married that rough man, looking at my parents, who only wanted the best for me, and my caring sister, I said coldly, I won't marry. 1. Nonsense. The betrothal gifts have already been accepted. My father, Zheng Deong, flushed with anger, looking at me with disappointment. There are plenty of people who want to marry into the Zhao family. I had to beg all over the place to secure this match for you. Seeing me with my head lowered and silent, he softened his tone and whispered to persuade me. Mother took my hand and earnestly said, once you marry Luca Zhao, you'll be close to home and never have to worry about food or clothing. How wonderful is that? Yes, sister, brother Zhao will definitely treat you well. He may look fierce, but is actually very gentle. My sister Lena Zheng said playfully, trying to persuade me. Seeing her innocent face, memories from my past life surged up like a frenzy. I was lying on a messy bed after a difficult childbirth, feeling the unstoppable bleeding beneath me, begging her to take me to the hospital. Lena Zheng, dressed in a little dress, shook her head while nestled in my husband's arms. You made me live like a widow all these years. You deserve to die. It's your blessing to be able to carry on the Zhao family line. That was when I found out that my sister had already been having an affair with my husband, Luca Zhao. Luca Zhao felt sorry for my sister and didn't want her to suffer the pain of childbirth, so he made me have the baby. If you think he's so great, then why don't you marry him? I looked at Lena Zheng. Since she liked Luca Zhao so much, this time I would let her have him. Lena Zheng stared in shock, her mouth agape. Coco Zhang, what nonsense are you talking? What's wrong with Luca Zhao? He's tall and strong, and just by hunting he could let you eat well and live comfortably every day. Da Yongzheng angrily slapped the table. I want to marry Jiqing Chu. Mentioning Jiqing Chu, both her parents looked incredulous. Because he was completely different from the closed-off and conservative villagers of Tianhe village. 3 years ago, Zoe Chu came to Tianhe village as an educated youth. He was tall and straight, with handsome features. He's even more handsome than the people in the movies. All the girls in the village found excuses to go see him on the ridge, but Zoe Chu ignored everyone, and when he got annoyed by their pestering, he would mercilessly shoo them away. Later, when Zoe Chu was bitten by a snake while cutting grass, I happened to pass by and saved him. After that, he started openly pursuing me. He often brought me food and daily necessities, helped me carry firewood, did my laundry, and stayed by my side whenever I was around, in this backward mountain village, where marriages were arranged solely by parental orders and matchmakers' words. His behavior was truly audacious. His reputation grew worse and worse, and everyone warned me not to be deceived by men from the city. He was handsome and smooth-tongued, surely a player. In the neighboring village, an educated youth got a girl pregnant but refused to marry her, and she ended up hanging herself. He looks dishonest at first glance, and when he sees how pretty you are, he just pounces. The village women always advise me to stay away from him, and my parents don't like him either. Dear daughter, are you feverish and confused? Mother reached out to feel my forehead, while father, furious, paced around the room with his hands behind his back. The Zhao family is one of the wealthiest households in the village. Living in a 3-story building, Luca Zhao is strong and capable, doing the work of 3 people by himself. Zoe Chu, on the other hand, is an educated youth sent to the countryside. Living in a single-story house assigned by the village, She appears fragile and struggles even with plowing the fields. Lena Zheng then took out a pocket watch. Sis, that educated youth Chu has already said he wants to marry me. Look, this is what he gave me, seeing this silver pocket watch. I remembered that in my past life, Lena Zheng also took out this watch and claimed it was a betrothal gift from Zoe Chu. At that time, I was still hesitating about whether to agree to the Zhao family's marriage proposal. Hearing this, I thought Zoe Chu had truly changed his heart, so I completely followed my parents' arrangements. Give it to me. I pushed Lena Zheng to the ground, snatched the pocket watch, and ran outside. Not at all like the usually well-behaved and sensible eldest daughter, she didn't stop until she reached the ridge outside the village. Clutching the pocket watch in her hand and thinking about how foolish she had been in her previous life, so easily swayed by biased words, father couldn't bear to part with his eldest daughter, insisting on marrying you off to the Zhao family. Yet he also wanted someone in the family to become a city dweller, so he tricked Zoe Chu into marrying me. I tried every possible way to please Zoe Chu, but in the end, he wouldn't even touch me. He keeps sending money to you, this despicable woman. Every now and then, and even uses my name to do it. It's absolutely disgusting. I don't understand what she's complaining about. Clearly, she was the one who insisted on marrying Zoe Chu, even if it meant lying, just to live that glamorous city life. Yet she resents me, her older sister, who was locked away at home as a tool for venting and a breeding machine. Wah, I'm sorry. Thinking about my past life trapped in the Zhao household, the prejudice against Zoe Chu, and my sister's cruelty, I couldn't help but crouch down on the ridge of the field and cry loudly. Chu, a male voice with a hint of northern accent called out, and I looked up. I saw Zoe Chu, dressed in a pristine white shirt, bending down in front of me. How are? He had only spoken 2 words when he noticed I was crying even louder. 2. Zoe Chu frantically searched for a handkerchief, intending to wipe my tears, but withdrew his hand midway, put the handkerchief in my hand. After I wiped away my tears, he turned his head away and asked, Chu, are you crying because you don't want to marry me? If you don't want to, I'll go talk to Uncle Zheng right away. Don't be upset. As he spoke, his voice choked up. I don't want to make you cry. The voice was so soft it was almost inaudible. Hearing his words, I angrily threw the handkerchief at him. Not at all. I just don't want to marry Luca Zhao. Dad said he wants me to marry him. Zoe Chu widened her eyes. How could that be? Did Uncle Zheng get it wrong? I wiped my tears and took out the crumpled pocket watch. Didn't you give this to Lena Zheng? She said it was your engagement gift. Zoe Chu had gone through many changes and was no longer the naive young master. He already understood what was going on. He held my hand with the pocket watch and said solemnly, I only want to marry you. I asked Uncle Zheng to give this watch to you because I haven't been able to see you much lately. My eyes welled up with tears again, because during this time, my family has been discussing marriage arrangements and told me not to wander around, especially not with Zoe Chu, saying that people in the village would gossip. I deliberately avoided him, which gave Lena Zheng the opportunity to take advantage. Let's go get our marriage certificate, I said with determination, clenching my fists. In the village, getting married just meant holding a banquet. No one knew about registering for a marriage certificate. In my previous life, she and Luca Zhao never got their marriage certificate, and Lena Zheng directly took her place. Zoe Chu was stunned, although he had pursued me for several years. Because the village was conservative and I often avoided him, he thought I didn't like him. Chu, are you serious? His voice trembled slightly. Wait for me at the village entrance tomorrow morning. I'll go back and steal the household register. As soon as I finished speaking, I was tightly embraced by Zoe Chu. I quickly looked around to see if anyone was there. How could he be so bold? Thank you, Coco Zhang. The scent of soap on him drifted toward me along with the breeze. 3. By the time I got home through the back door, it was already dark. My mother, Li Wenxiu, was slaughtering a chicken in the backyard, and Lena Zheng was, as usual, pestering her. What should we do, Mom? If sister doesn't marry him soon, Luca Zhao will definitely come to take her. He's too strong. I don't want to marry him, Lena Zheng said anxiously. Li Wenxiu, while plucking chicken feathers, said, serves you right. Who told you to lead him on? Now you want to marry a city guy. It's not that easy, Lena Zheng pouted. Who knew he'd be so persistent? She was just jealous that her sister had someone interested in her and wanted someone to help with the work, so she flirted with Luka Zhao. Lee Wenxiu sighed upon hearing this. We also can't bear to let our eldest daughter marry far away. It's better to keep her close so she can take care of us in our old age. Your sister is easily swayed. Later, give her more chicken to eat. If you coax her a bit, she'll definitely agree. I bit my lip hard to keep from making a sound. Being sensible and filial since childhood didn't earn me any extra affection from my parents. Instead, they tried every possible way to keep me in the village to continue serving them. My younger sister is lazy and loves to eat, yet with just a little whining, she can get our mother to help her. During dinner, Li Wenxiu put both chicken drumsticks on my plate. Once you're married, you'll belong to another family. Luckily the Zhao family lives nearby, so come visit often. In my past life I married Luka Zhao, and whenever something came up, they'd have me come back to help. They often asked me for money to help my brother get married, and they took plenty of things from the Zhao family. Every time they took something, my standing in the Zhao family dropped a little lower. When I was giving birth, they were busy harvesting grain and didn't even come. They never cared whether I lived or died. I ate the chicken leg without saying a word. They thought I had given in, and everyone was beaming with joy. In the early hours of the morning, while my parents were asleep, I sneaked into their room and stole the household register from the wardrobe. I also saw $50 and 3 packs of candy hidden under the wardrobe, wrapped in red paper. This must be the betrothal gift from the Zhao family, so I took these along as well. After packing everything into a cloth bag, I went to knock on the door of Luka Zhao's house in the village at the break of dawn. Who is it? Luka Zhao was wearing a black tank top, his suntanned muscles stretching the fabric taut. With prominent brow bones and deep-set eyes, he looked quite intimidating. Seeing him, I instinctively shrank back. It's me. What are you doing here? You haven't even crossed the threshold yet, and you're already running over to my place. Luka Zhao's words were sharp as he opened the door to let me in, then went to the kitchen to bring out freshly boiled corn. It must have been his breakfast. Eat up. Don't just talk to any man casually in the future. It won't do to act like you did with the educated youth back then. Luka Zhao already considers himself a husband. In my previous life, he said the same thing. After I married him, at first I wasn't allowed to speak to other men, then I wasn't allowed to go out and show my face in public, and eventually I wasn't even allowed to go to the fields. I can afford to support you. Just stay home and wait for me. I placed $50 and the bag of candy on the table. Speaking before he could furrow his brow, let's call off the engagement. Luka Zhao snapped the corn in his hand, gritting his teeth. What the hell did you just say? I frowned. Here we go again. Whenever things don't go his way, he starts spewing foul language. I was trembling with fear, so I simply closed my eyes and said, "My sister likes you. She says you're capable and gentle, the best choice for a husband. As her older sister, I can't compete with her." I blurted out all the words Lena Zheng had used to persuade me in one breath. Luka Zhao stared at me without blinking. Are you too happy to react? In my previous life, I didn't know what Lena Zheng had said to him that made him not come to propose marriage, and instead listen to his parents' arrangements to marry me. Now that I know Lena Zheng likes him so much, he should finally come to claim her, right? Don't you regret it, after waiting for a long time? He squeezed out a few words through gritted teeth, and then kicked me out the door. Just as I stepped out of the Zhao family's courtyard, I saw Zoe Chu standing expressionless under the tree. I went over and took his hand. I just came to return the betrothal gifts to him. Don't be upset. Zoe Chu's ears turned bright red. I'm not upset, just holding hands and blushing like that. And you call yourself an open-minded city person. He rode his bicycle and took me to the town, but suddenly stopped again right at the entrance of the marriage registration office. Coco, if you regret it, we can go back, he said, but his hand still held mine tightly. I shook my head. Whether someone is truly good to me depends on what they do, not on what others say. Everyone in the village says Zoe Chu is flirtatious and not very reserved, but I've never seen him mess around with other girls. He pursued me for 3 years, but he never even dared to hold my hand. In my previous life, after I got married, he never bothered me again. It wasn't until right before I died that I found out. Every month, the money I received was sent under the name Lena Zheng. Because he was afraid I wasn't doing well. After getting the marriage certificate, Zoe Chu took mine and kept it close to him, saying he wanted to personally safeguard it. Then he took me to the market, bought me a dress, snowflake cream, sesame candy, and surprisingly even bought a radio. All while noticing my increasingly puzzled expression, Zoe Chu said, "We're not eloping. Why bring all this to your house to propose?" When we returned to the Zheng family's home with all our bags, we found many villagers gathered at my doorstep. 5. At the door, there was actually a wild boar weighing over 100 pounds. Finally, we get to drink little Zhao's wedding wine. Ha ha ha, I told you all long ago that the Zhao family was going to marry the Zheng family's daughter, but you didn't believe me. That child Coco is both beautiful and sensible. She's actually a good match. They all came to join in the excitement, thinking that Luca Zhao had come to propose to me. At that moment, someone turned around and saw me and Zoe Chu holding hands, their mouth agape. "What's going on? How did you end up with Chu Jiqing?" In broad daylight, they have no shame. Lena Zheng was also in the crowd. She rushed over and pulled me back home, saying, "Sister, come back quickly, your future husband is here to propose." The villagers, upon hearing this, began to discuss even more fervently, flirting around. Who knows where she learned it from? I had no intention of paying any attention, but then I saw Zoe Chu stop in her tracks, her sharp gaze sweeping around. "Shut up, if anyone says one more word about Coco. Don't blame me for being rude." He didn't care what people said about him, but he couldn't let Coco be the subject of gossip either. At the entrance of the courtyard, Luca Zhao stood tall and imposing in the center. Seeing us, he suddenly spoke up, "Uncle Zheng, I've come today to formally propose marriage. Please allow your youngest daughter, Lena Zheng, to marry me." Lena Zheng, who was holding onto my arm, turned pale. Zheng Dayong's smile froze upon hearing the latter part of the sentence. He forced a smile. "Lena is still young." His words were interrupted by Luca Zhao, who pulled out a handkerchief. "Lena gave this to me. She's been with me for a while now. Please, Uncle Zheng, give us your blessing." He looked at Lena Zheng beside me and asked, "Lena, isn't that right?" Lena Zheng was frightened by him and only dared to nod. Everyone around was stunned upon hearing this. Wasn't it said that the Zhao family had their eyes on Coco Zheng? It turns out these two have had dealings for a long time. Zheng Dayong remained silent for a long time, while Zoe Chu went up carrying large and small bags. "Uncle Zheng, I'm also here to propose marriage. I want to marry Coco." Zheng Dayong realized that his double dealing had been exposed. His face flushed red, and he refused to look at him. Zoe Chu wasn't angry either and said with a smile, "You clearly promised me that I could be with Coco, but you gave my pocket watch to Lena Zheng and even let Coco marry someone else. What is going on here?" 6. Now the onlookers understood what was going on. The way they looked at Zheng Dayong had changed. My father had always had a good reputation in the village and was often invited to mediate disputes. He actually tried to pull off a fraudulent marriage. Li Wenxiu, seeing the awkward situation, stepped in to smooth things over. "Oh, it's all just a misunderstanding. Luca will marry Lena, and Chu Jiqing will marry Coco. That's settled then." At this point, Zheng Dayong had no choice but to agree. After everyone had left, Lena Zheng held onto Li Wenxiu and cried uncontrollably. While everyone was busy comforting her, I quietly put the household register back. "Coco Zheng, you must be so proud to marry a city dweller." Before going to bed that night, Lena Zheng, shedding her usual obedient younger sister image, said viciously, "Did you take the pocket watch because you want to marry Zoe Chu?" I asked calmly. Didn't she say in her previous life that she felt wronged marrying Zoe Chu? What's so great about that? He likes you only because he hasn't met me yet. If I married him, he would definitely fall in love with me, Lena Zheng said hysterically. So that's how it is. She wanted to marry Zoe Chu herself. But not only did he not fall in love with her, they didn't even have a normal married life. So she came back to flirt with Luca Zhao and ended up presenting me. "Wanting to have your cake and eat it too, huh? Just make Luca Zhao love you, as long as she can handle it." We held wedding banquets before and after, and Luca Zhao, who knows how to hunt, prepared 10 tables with each table having 2 or 3 meat dishes. Although the villagers had gossip about them, they felt too embarrassed to say anything more after enjoying such a feast. Zoe Chu originally wanted to host an even better banquet, but I stopped her. Those people talk about you behind your back every day. We shouldn't let them off so easily. Better save the money and spend it on me." Unable to resist my insistence, we ended up having a banquet of the usual standard in the village. But he said, "I will definitely make it up to you with the grandest wedding." On the night of the wedding banquet, I moved into Zoe Chu's educated youth bungalow. It had 2 bedrooms and a living room. Not large, but very tidy, with a big bookshelf and a dressing table. You can tell that many new decorations have been added, and the dressing table is covered with the most popular scented creams and jewelry among girls today. New towels, toothbrushes, and wash basins have all been prepared. After washing up, Zoe Chu took a wooden box from the cabinet and placed its contents one by one into my hands. "This is my educated youth subsidy. I started saving it from the day I met you, and all the food stamps my dad sent are for you." I took the thick stack of cash and food stamps. He was actually this wealthy. I counted nearly 500 yuan. That was enough to support a family of 5 for 2 years. I know what people in the village say about me, but I swear I'll never leave you in this lifetime. I'll work hard to give you the best." Zoe Chu's eyes sparkled like stars. I believe you." After getting into bed and turning off the lights, I couldn't stop trembling as I thought about the excruciating pain from my previous life. "It's okay, don't be afraid, Coco is really beautiful." Zoe Chu didn't force me at all, soothing me in a low voice, gently kissing me bit by bit. 7. When I woke up the next day, my body felt completely dry and comfortable without any discomfort, so that kind of thing could actually be this pleasant. I felt my face growing warm. "Darling, you're awake. Come have breakfast." Zoe Chu had bought some large meat buns from the team and made a pot of vegetable porridge himself. I ate to my heart's content. After Zoe Chu went to work, Lena Zheng came in without greeting. Her cheeks were flushed, and she walked with a limp. "TSK, TSK, TSK, living in this shabby house. How pathetic." She looked around the room, and when she saw the exquisite rosewood dressing table, a flash of jealousy appeared in her eyes, which soon turned into smugness. "Our house is so big we can't even use all of it. This place isn't even as big as my bedroom." "Oh, the Zhao family may be big, but there's no refinement at all. The room is piled with firewood and various game, and it's annoying just to look at. Big, if you can only move around in that 3-story building, would you still think it's big?" Luca Zhao often sweats but doesn't like to shower. If you remind him, he'll drag you to bed. "Dare to look down on me." Seeing my indifferent reaction, Lena Zheng raised her voice. "I get to eat meat with every meal now, and I don't have to work in the fields anymore. Once Zoe Chu returns to the city, she won't want you anymore. Just wait and regret it. Congratulations to you." I was eating sunflower seeds and pointed at the bruises on her arm and neck. "What happened there?" Lena Zheng's face instantly turned as red as a boiled shrimp. "What do you know? This is a sign of affection. It looks like she was beaten." Luca Zhao has always been rough and never cared about his wife's feelings. Seeing that I wasn't admiring her like other women did, Lena Zheng slammed the door and left. Since childhood, everyone said that married life can't compare to being a single woman, and to be prepared for hardship. Even in my previous life, though Luca Zhao didn't let me work outside, I still had to do laundry, cooking, and household chores at home, and this was considered an enviable life by others. After marrying Zoe Chu, I realized that men can also do housework. After lying in bed for over half a month, I felt completely weak all over and wanted to find something to do. Looking at Zoe Chu, who was reading a book, I tentatively asked, "Can I go work in the fields to earn work points?" He rested the pen against his forehead and frowned. My heart tightened. Did he also think I shouldn't leave the house? 8. "Honey, do you want to go to school?" There was a school in the village, but most people only finished elementary school before returning home to help with work and earn work points. Not many took their studies seriously. I feel the same way. Later, when the policy was announced encouraging everyone to return to school, I wanted to go back to study, but my parents refused. They said it would be embarrassing for someone my age to attend classes with young children. After the college entrance exams were reinstated, everyone can take them to go to university. "If Coco wants to study, I'll send you to school, and I'll teach you whatever you don't understand, or maybe we can learn some other skills. You'll cut your hands mowing the grass, and your shoulders will swell from carrying vegetables." I can't bear to see that, I voiced the doubt in my heart. I'll be embarrassed going to school at my age. Zoe Chu chuckled softly. How could that be? Studying makes one wise. Someone as clever as Coco will surely learn very well. After that day, I started carrying the backpack Zoe Chu had prepared for me to school. Teacher Han at the school was also an educated youth sent to the countryside. It was rare to have a female student. So she taught me very attentively. Zheng Dumei, why haven't I seen your sister lately? Is she pregnant? On my way home from school, I was stopped by a few aunties. I don't know. Lena Zheng loved to join crowds the most, especially after she got married. These past few days, I haven't even seen a trace of him. Just thinking about it, I knew he had been locked up at home by Luca Zhao. I saw Lena Zheng again 3 days later, and I noticed she no longer dared to speak to any men, becoming somewhat timid and submissive, and she started frequently going back to her parents' home. He would come to my house every other day, saying he missed me a lot, and if no one was home, he would just let himself in. I didn't have much time to pay attention to her anymore. I was always rushing to get to class every day, and before bed, Teacher Chu would quiz me on what I had learned, a happy problem. One day, during math class, the children in the classroom suddenly erupted in excitement. Hurry up! I heard a car has arrived in the village, the kind of four-wheeled vehicle from the movies. Quick, go grab a spot. The teacher didn't stop them, letting them go. As soon as I stepped out of the classroom, I saw Zoe Chu standing in the sunlight with a beaming smile. 9. The car from home is here to pick us up. Darling, would you like to come back with me? He familiarly took my hand, intertwining our fingers tightly. Of course I'm willing. Goodbye, Tianhe village. Which has trapped me for a lifetime. Zoe Chu only took her ID, my books, and money before heading towards the village entrance. Haven't you packed the bed sheets and clothes yet? The bedding is all at home, and we'll go back to buy new clothes. There are many styles, and Coco will definitely look good in them. The villagers had already heard that Zoe Chu was the son of a high-ranking official in City B, and a car was specially sent to pick him up. The entire village came to see us off, showing no trace of their previous dissatisfaction with Zoe Chu. My daughter, you can't leave. What will your father and I do if you go? Li Wenxiu suddenly ran over and grabbed me tightly with both hands. Zoe Chu frowned. Mother-in-law, what do you mean? Do you want us to live apart? Li Wenxiu wiped her tears and sobbed. We really can't bear to part with you. After your husband is gone, you can still live at home like before, just have him give some living expenses every month. His father is a high-ranking official. He doesn't lack that little bit of money. I sneered coldly and forcefully pulled her hand away. I turned to look at my father, Zheng Deong, standing behind me, just like before, getting up before dawn to cook for all of you, feeding the chickens and ducks every day, working in the fields and taking care of the entire family. You still want living expenses, otherwise it's just freeloading. Can you be any more shameless? Zheng Deong glared angrily. Ungrateful daughter, how dare you speak to your father like that? He swung a slap at me, but it was caught and thrown off by Zoe Chu. My wife will definitely come with me. Doesn't my father-in-law have another daughter? Just because my wife is capable and filial, you can't keep holding on to her alone. The world is vast. Coco can go wherever she wants. Zoe Chu pulled me into her arms and said coldly, how many parents have clipped their children's wings and ruined their futures just to keep them close for old age support? Hearing Zoe Chu's words, I felt a lump in my throat. This time, the people around me weren't locking me in a small room but supporting me to go anywhere. Zheng Deong and Li Wenxiu were left speechless, and because of Zoe Chu, they didn't dare to come near me. I had just gotten into the car when suddenly someone stepped in front of it, blocking the way. Zoe Chu, you can't take her away. It was Lena Zheng. 10. The driver had no choice but to stop the car. Lena Zheng, what kind of mischief are you up to again? Lena Zheng's hair was disheveled. She only had one slipper left on her foot, and she was panting heavily. I am your legal wife. You must take me with you. That one sentence stirred up 1,000 waves. The villagers started gossiping. Isn't she the younger sister-in-law? Why is she now claiming to be Chu Jiqing's wife? What law? Does the law even care about wives? Clearly she just wants to enjoy city life, stealing her own sister's man. If you ask me, take both and have one on each arm. Ha ha ha. The one saying this was the village's old bachelor, who received countless scornful looks. Everyone knew that wherever your household registration was, that's where you had to be, otherwise, you'd be considered a vagrant. Zoe Chu and I exchanged a glance, knowing exactly what Lena Zheng was up to. This is the marriage certificate. The name on it is mine, Lena Zheng. See for yourselves if you don't believe me. Lena Zheng excitedly unfolded the marriage certificate in her hand. What is this? I pretended not to understand and asked. Lena Zheng smiled smugly. You country bumpkin wouldn't know. The police captain's wife said that with this, no one can abandon anyone, otherwise it's against the law. She often gossiped with the police captain's wife, probably trying to teach her how to tie down a man. Who would have thought she'd use it to steal someone else's husband? Coco Zheng, your husband is Luca Zhao, so stay put in the Zhao family and have his babies. She then pulled out a marriage certificate and threw it in front of me. It should have been you marrying that pervert Luca Zhao in the first place. He still has his eyes on you, saying your skin is delicate and fair. And you're prettier than me. Lena Zheng thought she had it in the bag and started spouting some disgusting remarks. Zoe Chu heard her nonsensical and vulgar words, her fists clenched so tightly they turned white, as if she were about to throw a punch at any moment. I gently patted her fist, and only then did Zoe Chu calm down. She took out the still brand new marriage certificate from her small bag. 11. Coco and I registered half a year ago. Yours is invalid. Lena Zheng saw the names of me and Zoe Chu above and shouted. I went to the marriage registration office with my household register to get this reissued. Why isn't it valid? Hearing this, I raised an eyebrow. No wonder she often came to my house. She was trying to steal mine and Zoe Chu's documents. She just found someone to impersonate Zoe Chu using his documents and got a marriage certificate. We already got married a long time ago. It's recorded in the archives. If you don't believe it, go to the police station and see whose is valid. You're breaking the law by stealing someone else's documents to apply for a certificate. You should just turn yourself in at the police station, I said with a half smile. Lena Zheng began to panic, shaking her head repeatedly. This one of yours is fake. Suddenly, she rushed over like a madwoman, trying to snatch it. Zoe Chu quickly put away the marriage certificate and dodged aside with a swift movement of her shoulder. Lena Zheng fell to the ground in a disheveled state, crying out, "Take me away, Luca Zhao will kill me. He locks me up at home every day and won't even let me talk to anyone." Lena Zheng, get up. Luca Zhao had arrived. Lena Zheng buried her face in the ground. I don't want to. He looked at Lena Zheng lying on the ground, his face as dark as water. Haven't I treated you well? I've given you the best of everything. Yet you insist on running outside. Are you trying to cheat on me? Seeing the scattered marriage certificates at Lena Zheng's feet, he seemed to have thought of something. So you took the household register to do this kind of thing? Huh, dreaming of going to the city, in your dreams. Back then, you were the one who seduced me first, and then you wouldn't let me propose. All because you were fickle-minded and had your eyes on Zoe Chu. I didn't hold it against you, and you're still thinking about him, today. I'll teach you a lesson on what it means to be a proper woman. After saying that, one hand directly lifted Lena Zheng up, carrying her over the shoulder to go back. 12. Seeing how angry Luca Zhao was, someone wanted to step forward and persuade him not to hit anyone. They were pulled back by the people around. It's a matter between the couple. Don't go meddling. Fight at the head of the bed, make up at the foot of the bed, and so, they turned a blind eye to the potential violence. Once the farce was over, we finally boarded the car back to the city. My parents didn't stand behind to see us off. They went to the Zhao family to plead for leniency. When we arrived in City B, I was surprised to find that the Chu family lived in a small Western-style house. Zoe Chu's parents had already prepared a room for us, along with a row of brand new clothes. Her mother didn't show the slightest disdain for me being from the countryside. She held my hand and taught me how to use those unfamiliar machines. I didn't have to fetch water from the well, just a gentle turn of the faucet and water would flow out. The electric lights were so beautiful and so bright. At night, they lit up the room as if it were daytime. That night, I thought I wouldn't be able to sleep, but lying on the soft bed, I had the most comfortable sleep ever. We held another wedding ceremony in the city, and I wore a Western-style wedding dress. I was afraid people would say it was too revealing, but unexpectedly, everyone was praising me. The bride is so beautiful. Xiao Chu must have accumulated good fortune for 8 lifetimes. Coco is not even 20 yet, Xiaochu better treat her well. After I adapted to city life, I officially started high school. The school had students of all ages, even some in their 30s, and many girls were also studying. Boys and girls didn't sit separately. Everyone played together. I made many friends. After school, Zoe Chu would still help me with my homework, carefully explaining the problems to me. He said I need to study hard, get into university through the college entrance exam next year, and that university is more fun than high school. Watching Zoe Chu, after finishing her own work, stay up late to help me organize knowledge points and plan for university life, I asked, "Honey, aren't you afraid I might end up with someone else after I go to college?" 13. After being in the city for so long, I've learned that many students get into relationships at school. Some people even get involved with others while they're already married. Would you? Zoe Chu gently tapped my nose. Of course not. You're so wonderful. No one could ever compare to you. I don't even talk to male classmates, Zoe Chu said seriously after hearing this. Coco, of course you can talk to male classmates. I love you, and I believe you love me just as much. And won't leave me for just anyone. You don't have to sacrifice yourself for me. My nose stung again. I realized that truly loving someone means helping them grow and become stronger. It's not about locking someone up, not about cutting them off from the world. In the summer of my 3rd year back in the city, I was admitted to the literature program at a local university. Not long after starting school, I received a letter from my parents. They said Lena Zheng had given birth to a child earlier in the year, but she was still frequently beaten by Luca Zhao, covered in bruises, and could hardly take care of herself. They're getting older, and with no one around to look after them, they want to come to the city with me. I suppose the news of me getting into university spread back to the village, and with the policy changes, they've started dreaming again. I didn't reply to the letter but prepared a sum of money to send to Lena Zheng. Let her decide for herself whether to leave or not. Their letter did give me a reminder. Why haven't I gotten pregnant in 4 years? That night, I sat on the bed and looked very seriously at Zoe Chu. What's with that look? Don't you think I can do it? He turned his head and reached out to stroke my earlobe. No. Although Zoe Chu is very gentle and doesn't cause me pain, sometimes being too comfortable can also be unbearable. Extreme gentleness is also a kind of refusal that cannot be resisted. Seeing my expression, Zoe Chu smiled, patted my back, and slowly explained, because you're still young and haven't finished your studies, there's no hurry for children. Does Coco want a baby? He lowered his head and asked me, but I didn't respond, because I suddenly fell asleep. That night, I had a dream. I dreamed that in my past life, after Lena Zheng and Zoe Chu returned to the city, they still lived in the Chu family home, but the two of them remained separated. Lena Zheng often goes to his workplace to find people, asking for this and that. Zoe Chu offered to take her to school, but Lena Zheng accused him of looking down on her for being uneducated and caused a big scene. Their relationship became even more strained. Once during the new year, when Lena Zheng returned to her parents' home, she rekindled her old flame with Luca Zhao. At that time, I was already pregnant. Luca Zhao and she were frolicking wildly in the cornfield, completely oblivious to the world around them. In my dream, I knew nothing. I was still grateful to my sister who often sent money and goods from the city, but in fact, all of those were given by Zoe Chu. After she died in childbirth, Zoe Chu rushed back to Tianhe village, disregarding worldly ethics. He frantically retrieved my body and sent it to the hospital for examination. I found out that I didn't die from natural childbirth, but rather from being deliberately cut open and bleeding to death. Lena Zheng and Luca Zhao were sent to prison for murder. Zoe Chu erected a tombstone for me in City B, which reads, "My beloved Coco." He wept bitterly in front of the tomb. "I shouldn't have refused to visit you just because Lena Zheng said you hated me." Back when Zoe Chu discovered she had been deceived, she wanted to back out. It was Lena Zheng who took out the pocket watch and said I gave it to her, hoping she would help me get rid of Zoe Chu. That's why he married Lena Zheng, just so I wouldn't be troubled. I should have taken you away. It was me who harmed you. Coco, you once saved my life, and now it's time for me to repay you. A heavy rain began to fall from the sky, and the blood on Zoe Chu's body dyed the water on the ground red. I wanted to cover his wound, but I couldn't move no matter how hard I tried, waking up crying. I heard Zoe Chu's warm, jade-like voice by my ear. Why are you crying? Did you have a nightmare, good girl? Dreams are all fake. I wrapped my arms around him, feeling his scorching body temperature, and only then did I truly feel that he was still alive. Fortunately, we are all still alive. Honey, if something happened to me and I was gone, what would you do? Zoe Chu said with a laugh. So that's what the dream was about. If you were gone, I'd find a new girlfriend and give all your beautiful jewelry to someone else. Not allowed. I stopped crying instantly and started hitting him. Zoe Chu grinned cheekily as she admitted her mistake, her eyes pitch black. He wouldn't let Coco be alone. Then take good care of yourself and live to be 100 years old, okay?